Shining bright, sunshine in the sky. Megan and Tammy here to testify, spreading love, laughter and good vibes too. The Fat Girl Chronicles, we're breaking through.
Okay, whenever you are ready.
Hi guys, I'm Tammy.
And I'm Megan.
Together we are the Fat Girl Flippers. And this is the Fat Girl Chronicles, our podcast.
So if you are watching on YouTube, congratulations. You get to see our beautiful faces. Just noticed my eyes are really blue in this video. Holy God.
Mine are green.
What is happening? Let's see.
Try again.
We can just continue on.
All right. Okay. So we fell on the floor.
We fell on the floor.
Megan has blue eyes. I have green eyes. We've confirmed that.
So, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and comment, and the notification button as well, so you're reminded every time that we upload. We try to do every Friday. And if you're listening to us through audio, that's totally fine. We are on pretty much all podcast streams, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff. Podbean, all of it. So feel free to listen to us on there as well.
Everywhere you are, we are too.
Yes.
Just like, never mind.
Oh my gosh.
Just like a black cloud following you around. Here we are.
The rain cloud.
Here we are. We're the rainbow. We're like Skittles.
How was your week?
My week. You already know how my week was. My week was phenomenal.
We had a good week.
Phenomenal. I went surfing.
Yes, that was so much fun.
Megan was my coach, and I had the most amazing time. We got the most amazing pictures.
We actually did, yeah.
The day was incredible.
Yep.
Even Megan said we felt like the vibe, like the happy vibe, the whole, like, it was just, the people were so damn nice.
Yeah.
Credit needs to be given out to Life Rolls On and Sail Able? Yeah, Sail Able, Nova Scotia. For making the event happen. Life Rolls On, for anybody who doesn't know, is a nonprofit out of the U.S. who sets up adaptable surfing for people with disabilities. And Halifax or Nova Scotia, we are the only Canadian destination for surfing on the east coast of, or it's the western coast of Nova Scotia, actually. Yeah, other than the U.S., we are the only one. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
What did you think? Because it's the first time you've ever seen it. I've seen pictures and things before.
You've seen pictures. Yeah. I guess, I looked at their Facebook page or whatever, but I think, the day we started off pretty early. I picked up around 7ish, between 7 and 7:30. And so that was really fun. When we got there, the parking at, is it Martin? No, yeah, Martin Beach was awful. Oh my gosh.
We were thinking, it's early in the morning. We get there, we'll have a parking spot.
There was so many people there. So that was I think the only glitch was the parking, really, and getting you to the beach. That kind of stuff was difficult.
I don't know. They were good. We got help, but
for sure.
Navigating us in manual wheelchairs up, imagine manual wheelchairs up over a dune and then back down a dune again.
Yeah.
On the Moby mats is kind of, it's not an easy feat. Let's just put it that way. No. And I'm not light. So getting me back up that hill, thank God for that man. And I actually saw his picture posted and I thanked him underneath.
Oh, did you?
I did, because
that's awesome.
He was such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Him and his little boy.
Yeah.
So cute.
Well, the event itself was really cool. So we, so how they have it set up is they have, like, on the beach, there's a bunch of different teams, and they all have different colors that you're assigned. So Tammy was originally purple, but then I think you did what?
Green.
So she was originally purple, and I think Michelle was blue.
Michelle was blue. Yep.
So, yeah, so that was really interesting. They had like little flags with the colors, and then you had like different time slots. They were running like late, but that was fun because we kind of just enjoyed, like, we were there for the whole thing. It was so
fun watching everybody from our group, especially.
Yeah, so that was really nice. We met some really nice people. And I just like said to Tammy, like, because a lot of the times, like, in my job or my profession or even just personally, like, we're always dealing with such sadness, especially in the state of the world is in right now, right? Like, nobody can afford anything. We've got forest fires, economy, all of it. Mental health, it's all going kind of downward. So it was really nice to be a part of something that was just so positive, and also had people that were like it felt non-judgy, like it felt like a safe environment.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. Like, yeah, there was no body shaming that day. That's for sure.
No, it felt really genuine. It felt genuine. It felt safe.
I think anybody who volunteers to do that and help do that, do it for a reason, because they love it. They either love that or they love surfing.
Right.
So,
right.
Or they love two things, surfing and volunteering.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were a lot on my team, 3 girls were physiotherapists. They were local from the Halifax area. And there were some people from Life Rolls On, and then a couple other surfers from the surf school down there. And then there were just some like random volunteers. Right. So when I was asking the guy, he said all the teams were kind of made up like that.
Yeah. And it was cool because I was wondering like how they would logistically do it. And so essentially what they do is they have a couple people at this, like, you get onto the surfboard, and then people help you go to like into the water.
Yeah, they take you out to the deep
end, and but then they have people on either side lined up way up until the shoreline, so that way at any point, if you're like hitting a wave and then tip over, there's somebody at a marker,
like all the way you're coming in.
There's like a whole line of people.
There's a whole line on both sides of your surfboard. I mean, it's probably, I'm going to say 25 feet apart. They're standing. Yeah. So you do feel like there's nobody with you, or some people, depending on your disability, some people sat on the board and they had someone with them in the back.
Yeah.
If you were able, laying down on the board was the best way, which is what I did. And it was incredible.
Yeah.
The first run that I had was real simple, just a straightforward. The second run, I got a big wave, and I learned really quickly to adapt my weight on that board, because I nose dived. So I backed myself up on the board, and then didn't fall off again. So.
Yeah. No, and I think what I'll do is I'll send Richard the 13-second clip, that last trip, and he can like put this at the very end. That way, like, people who are watching the YouTube would be able to see it. Obviously, if you're listening to it on podcast, you wouldn't be able to see it. But for people that are watching on YouTube, I'll insert that clip of Tammy going down, because then you can, like, in that clip you can see clearly how people are lined up. How it works,
yeah.
So it was overall a really good day. I mean, they had free barbecue. They had hot dogs and hamburgers going, and chips and water and pop. And
there was no lack of anything. There were trained medical professionals there.
Photographers,
lifeguards. I mean, they had everything. Yeah, it was a 100% safe and inclusive event.
Yeah, it was very, very, very good, and it was such a feel good day. Like,
a lot of people didn't want to leave. Like, they were all hanging around talking at the end, and it was just, you're right, it was feel good.
It was a feel good day.
I haven't felt fun like that. I don't know, experiencing the thrill of going fast, and like, I don't know, it's been a long time, but that was a really cool way to get an adrenaline junkie's fix.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can. Let's see if we can.
We should be bee-free by now.
There we go. Yeah, no, it was a really good day. And we had lots of laughs afterwards. Tammy trying to get her changed in the car.
Oh yeah. So we went down to the local gas station to get some drinks. So Megan went inside to get the drinks. So I thought I will be a smart person and change out of my wet clothes in the car. And there was a man sitting in the car in front of me. So I had my towel draped up in the, what do you call this? Visor.
Oh, the visor.
I had it in the visor and I had it in the window sill. Except I kept hitting the button and knocking the window down. So then there was a guy that pulled in beside me. Anyway, I changed my clothes right there and I said, Megan came back, opened the door, and I was in I had no pants on.
Her shorts were like halfway down her leg.
So I had to get Megan to help me pull up my pants.
She's like, I don't care where you touch me, just pull.
Everyone
God.
knows what it's like when you're wet and you're
Oh.
trying to get clothes on.
Yeah.
I mean, it took me almost the entire time you were in the store
Oh my God.
to get my bra over my head. And then you know how when you're pulling the bra over your head and then it rolls up in the back and you can't get it. Yeah. That was me. So my entire time that you were in the store, I was just trying to get my bra on.
Oh my God, we were laughing and laughing.
That was pretty funny. And then, of course, in usual Fat Girl Flipper style, we took a wrong turn because we weren't paying attention because we were talking.
Oh, I know. You got lost. I forgot about that.
What do we got? The dirt road, our favorite thing. There's two things we love: dirt roads and getting lost.
Yep, apparently so.
And almost every time we go somewhere, that happens.
Yep. And of course, it was like, I looked at my phone to get the GPS out, and it said like SOS. So we had literally no reception.
SOS, all right.
And so I was like, thank goodness my car actually has built-in navigation. So
the good thing about Nova Scotia is usually all roads lead to somewhere.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. No, we figured it out eventually.
It wasn't like the Pictou episode where we ended up on a ATV trail and
in a van,
in your mother-in-law's van,
in the minivan.
In the minivan.
Oh yeah, no, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
It was the first disability event that I think that you've been at with me.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that you got to go to that one with me because it was incredible.
Yeah, it was really good. I would encourage like anybody to kind of go next year, you know, like even just to sit on the beach, and because the beach is beautiful.
Or volunteer if you want to, you know, if you like the water. That's the other thing. The water was like bath water.
Oh my, it was so warm.
I was afraid because the ocean is always cold. That was like almost pretty close to Belize temperatures in that water. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it was really warm. The only thing I didn't like was effing seaweed.
Oh, we had seaweed in our armpits and our crotch and everywhere. We had seaweed.
Everywhere. Yeah, there was a ton of seaweed. But yeah, no, other than that,
it was beautiful.
And it was funny because the workers were like, or the volunteers were trying to like, they were moving their legs around because the seaweed was literally like gripping onto their legs. It was very dense.
Yuck.
Yeah. So that was the only thing that was like, ugh. But other than that, it was really, really good. I would definitely go next year. It was worth going. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Anything else about your week?
What else did I do? No, not really. No? That was the big kahuna.
That was like the big moment.
I don't think anything else happened last week.
I
don't know.
And you're getting ready to go away?
Yeah, kinda. Planning that little road trip.
That'll be fun.
Loving me a road trip.
That'll be fun. Yeah. As far as my week goes, not much has happened. Like, I think Saturday was probably the biggest. I can't even remember what I did Sunday.
Well, we did a podcast a week ago.
Oh, I know what I did Sunday. We went. Oh my God, I know what we did Sunday.
What did you do Sunday?
So, because it was such a good day on the beach, Saturday, I really wanted to go back Sunday, like to a beach.
Mm-hmm.
So Richard and I, around like 11ish, decided we were gonna go to Melmerby.
Yeah.
Melmerby. So we went to the beach there, but unlike Martinique, there was not only a lot of birds, but they were swooping.
You should have went to Big Island Beach.
Just hold on.
Oh, okay.
Just hold on. So the thing about me is that I'm an empath. So, and the thing about Richard is that he's very anxious around anything that might bother me. So, as soon as we saw all the seagulls, we tried to move a couple of times, but the seagulls continued to just like swoop, swoop, swoop. So we're like, okay. So then we leave the beach after like 20, 30 minutes and we go to the Trenton pool because it's nearby. But there was a lot of kids and family and it was small. Like, it was just like, I was like, I don't even want to waste time. So he's like, okay, I found one random one on Google. It was the
Big Island Beach.
yeah, Big Island Beach. So we were like, okay, we're going to go. So it was like 30 minutes away from there. And I mean, this beach doesn't have any, like, there's no like facilities or like, it's just like kind of like
It's beautiful.
Yeah, a hidden gem type of thing. Not a lot of people and no birds. There was no birds at all.
Multiple areas to swim. There's an accessible area by the wharf that you can easily swim at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, down. I don't know if you saw Wharf Lane. It's almost to the end of the road.
No, we kind of were more.
You probably were on the big crescent section.
Yes. Yeah.
If you go, the best beach is if you go way to the end of the road.
Yeah.
There's a beach that goes right out on the end. It's beautiful.
Really?
And it goes this way, and then there's a part on the end. It's a huge beach.
Well, we'll definitely be going back.
Yeah.
So it was nice because it was a mixture. Like, it had some rocky bits, but it also had sand, right? Because a lot of the beaches around like Truro area are just rock beaches, and I grew up in the city, so a lot of the beaches I'm familiar with are more sandy, and I like it that way. I prefer that. So we were just sitting and like looking at the water, and then we were like dipping our toes in and stuff, but the water was a little bit murky, so I was like, I don't love that. So then I was like, you know what, let's just take the chairs and
sit in the water.
Sit in the water. So we sat in the we did that's what we did.
That's what I do.
Yep, that's what we did. We literally took the chairs and we sat in the water, just had the water splash on our feet and our legs.
That's what I did when the tide was coming in. Yep. I went at the wharf place. I put my big chair in there and just sat in the water and let the water wash over me when the tide was coming in.
Right.
So it was cool.
Yep. The only sketchy part was there was a ring, like a piece of a fish's body. It must have been used as bait. Yeah. So that washed ashore because there's a lot of like fishing boats out of ways. So that was the only part that was like,
probably chum. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was beautiful. So we stayed there for a little bit, and then Richard and I tried the Shania Twain fries at McDonald's. It's a Canadian thing.
I saw that today when I was there with Michelle, and we were like,
it literally like it's all dressed chips except with fries. Like, it wasn't very. I didn't order them.
Doesn't sound too exciting to me.
No. Well, see, the book. So I'm in a book club on Instagram, and they're from all over the world. So people were like, "Oh, this seems like a random collab," and I was like, "Oh, that's a Canadian thing, Canadian McDonald's," and they're like, "Oh, you should try."
Holy shit, that's low.
Yeah. Well, we're by the airport.
Squirrel airplane.
Yes. So yeah, this is all dressed fries.
For anybody who's not from Canada, all dressed is the best.
Yeah, and it really did taste like the seasoning was all dressed.
Basically, all dressed is barbecue, ketchup, and salt and vinegar mixed together.
Yeah. So,
just like poutine, we own the rights to that. Ketchup chips also are a Canadian thing.
Yeah, I guess that's true, isn't it?
Sorry to all you Americans.
Oh my God. So yeah, today I was wanting to talk a little bit about, I watched a documentary. I'm not sure if you want to talk about your stuff or we can talk about the documentary.
Go ahead, talk about the documentary.
So, I watched, I'm not sure who has watched it, but I watched a documentary called, what's it called? Getting Fit or Feeling Fit or something. It's about The Biggest Loser. It's on Netflix, and it's about The Biggest Loser show. Do you remember Biggest Loser?
Yep.
So it's about that show, and it did like a little like talked about the show. They talked with contestants. They talked with producers. They talked with the doctors. They talked with trainers or whatever. And I was super disappointed in the documentary.
Really?
Which is unusual because I love Netflix documentaries.
I don't have Netflix, so I'll have to see if I can
stream it.
Find it somewhere.
So essentially there was 3 episodes.
Okay.
And so, the first episode, it kind of looked hopeful. So it was like talking about, some of the first 2, I guess even the first 2 episodes, I would say, were like really talking about how harmful like it was to contestants. A lot of the contestants had gained their weight back and more, obviously. They talked a lot about like food restrictions. So like a lot of contestants, it became not about losing weight, but about like winning and losing the most amount of weight so they could win. And so like there would be a lot of contestants who would just like not eat or eat very, very little, like have 800 calories, but then work out 8 hours a day. Like it was just about who like losing the most amount of weight, even if it wasn't a safe way in doing so. And it talked a lot about how the doctor would say, this is what you should be doing, and then the show would do something else, because really it becomes about, we have to make television, and people losing weight in a healthy way doesn't make for great television.
No.
Like,
because there's no drama in that.
Right.
And we all know that the Biggest Loser was on TLC. And TLC is, wasn't it? Yeah, it was on TLC.
NBC. I think
was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see where you would think, because there's that 500 whatever.
Oh yes, my 500-pound life.
1,000 sisters and all that.
But I think The Biggest Loser came out before all of that stuff started.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember watching it and just thinking, "Oh my God, what are they doing to them?" But then I soon found out when I got bariatric surgery prep for 2 years. Well,
yeah, that's why I thought these could kind of correlate a little bit.
I was 2.5 years waiting for bariatric surgery, and I was on a restrictive 1,200 calorie a day diet, and that not only was restricted that way, it was restricted in what I could have, and I had to have a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of water, a certain amount of fiber, etc. Yeah, so knowing how that was very restrictive, so I did that for up until my surgery time, and then after surgery, when it was time to start eating again, I have felt like I can't eat any more than 2 or 3 bites and I'm full.
Right.
And I'm not hearing food noise. It's not that I, want to binge or want to eat or anything like that. But my question is, I am now, 9 months out? Yeah, 9 months out, I would say.
Oh my God.
I know it's hard to believe, isn't it? 9 months out from my surgery, and I've lost about 127 pounds. But my question, and nobody seems to know the answer to this, is will this always be this restrictive? And will I stop losing weight, or will this continue? Like, I'm kind of like, I have no control over my body right now.
Yeah.
None.
Right.
And I know I'm not eating 1,200 calories a day either, because I'm not even eating, like, I'm eating once a day usually, and like it's usually a protein of some sort, but it's not 1,200 calories worth.
Right.
So I don't know. I just feel like I didn't ask for this surgery. It was forced on me so that they can repair my knee, which, I mean, now that I've had the surgery, there are some benefits to it, and I will say that, but there's also some negatives. So, it's really hard mentally to,
I
like, to not know what your body's going to do, or not know where you're going to be in 2 months time. Or, and I know there's the people out there who are going to say, oh my God, why can't she just be grateful? Like, I know there's going to be people who
Right.
think that, oh, she should be happy, she's losing weight. But I wasn't unhappy about my weight before.
Right.
That's the thing.
And it's that, for me, it's like that loss of control over your body, right? Like, you had no choice but to have the surgery, A, and then B, now, like, you physically have no choice.
Yeah,
Or get
and
sick,
here's something else that Michelle and I were just discussing this before you came. Okay, so now they've scheduled my knee surgery, but then when the anesthesiologist called me yesterday, he's like, well, because of the problems from the last surgery,
God.
he goes, we're probably going to have to give you what, basically, it's an epidural because they're going to freeze me from my stomach down. And then I'll be in a, what do they call, twilight or whatever. So I will virtually, possibly be awake.
Oh my God.
And I didn't this didn't really hit me until today when I was talking to Michelle about it. And then I was like, I don't really like the idea of that. So now, because of what happened after the other surgery, this is my only option. And I'm like, I've had so many surgeries and never had a problem. And all of a sudden, it's my fault that they made a mistake at the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, you clearly read it in the report that it wasn't.
They kept pumping you. So they're giving you some sort of like laughing gas situation plus epidural?
I guess.
But you'll be conscious.
Apparently so.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, they have to cut bone and stuff to,
Oh, I can't even
Can you imagine?
No, I
Michelle
can't.
said she was she was awake for some kind of surgery, and they were talking about being too close to a nerve, and she remembers like hearing them talking, and like it's like you can hear them, but you can't move or you can't do anything. It's like anyway. She said it was scary, and I don't want that.
No, that's awful.
So I feel like I'll take my chances with the anesthesiologist. I think.
Do you have that option?
I am going to call tomorrow
and
find out if they can give that option to me, because I think ultimately it's up to me.
Yeah, I mean, you'll sign whatever.
Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking about when you were talking, and this again kind of goes back to The Biggest Loser and my thoughts around that aspect. It's like the pressure of being quote unquote successful. So like for you going through that 2-year period, there's a lot of pressure because your fat is different, because it's not actual like regular fat. A lot of it isn't, and so you weren't losing weight as rapidly as, say, like if I went on a 1,200 calorie diet, I would lose a lot more weight rapidly versus you.
But even this weight loss surgery, people have lost more than me at this point. Right. Like way more than me.
Right. Which is what we expected, because
because now you can clearly feel the lipomas on my body. That's all that's left.
Right.
So I've got loose skin covering lipomas.
Right. So, like going back to that 2-year period, I can remember, and as I'm sure you can, like the pressure of like, the nurse is going to call me, or having to do the weekly weigh-ins, and if you didn't lose, are they going to believe me? Essentially, this whole thing around putting morals with weight loss, like, are you being good? Are you lying? Are you being deceitful? Are you giving into urges? Like all of these things around the weight loss, right? Because the assumption is not that your body is atypical than what they would normally kind of treat. They
didn't even consider that.
They didn't even consider that.
There was no discussion about that. There was no taking that into consideration. There was never any of the nurse saying, oh, we understand you have lipedema, your weight loss may come at a slower pace than others, blah, blah. Never.
Right. So again, it's like a moral failing. If you don't lose this
And
amount
that
of weight, you've
and
morally failed.
yeah, and the failure to the surgeon, because the surgeon,
Yep.
remember, you were with me. He
Yep.
said the only way I'm going to touch you is if you have weight loss surgery.
Yep.
He said that.
Yep. And so the same thing kind of happens with The Biggest Loser, right? Like it all comes down to, you know, this is your fault. You're the one who is making bad choices. You're the one who is failing. You're the one who needs to you move and eat. But the thing is about moving and eating right. I mean, on the show, they were exercising more than professional athletes.
Yeah.
Like your body will be damaged. Like that is not a healthy way to do anything.
They were expecting me to be doing an hour of exercise a day during the lead up to the weight loss surgery, and I mean, I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah. I know. So it was so interesting, those parallels, and like it really was about just like they talked about like just making this a show, and like some of the challenges, like I've watched The Biggest Loser, like I can remember watching it, but I was really reminded of like the challenges where they had like temptation challenges, and
I remember that.
yeah, where they had like a whole room full of food. And you still had to lose weight by the end of it, but depending on how much you ate, you got to see your family, and like just like humiliation. Like some of the challenges were really about just humiliating the person, right?
As is the norm for people, anything that has to do with obese people or people that are plus size.
Yep.
That's the norm.
Yep.
There's no other way. I mean, it's just
that's like
that's big business.
Yeah.
For
it
you.
was just like a circus.
Yeah.
What really kind of bothered me at the end was like the documentary itself, like as I said, the first couple episodes, they were kind of like pinpointing like really horrible things. One thing I did like at the last episode is one of the trainers. So Jillian Michaels didn't participate in the
No
documentary.
wonder, she was brutal in the series.
Bob did. Or is it Bobby? Bob or Bob? I think it's Bob. He did, but what was interesting is in the last episode, they talked briefly, and they didn't even really. It was interesting because they didn't really kind of put two and two together, but Bob had suffered a heart attack years later. And I mean, he's the guy that's always been in the gym, always fit, always eating healthy, always on a strict regimen. And he did suffer a heart attack.
Isn't that interesting?
Right. So, funny enough, they didn't really correlate the two.
Not funny, but
ironic, right?
Yeah.
So then, but at the end of the day, the documentary essentially ended with, yes, the show could be harmful. The producers had no remorse. The producers, like, we were making television. We're not obligated to do any follow-up care. We made sure they were as safe as possible. Bob said, even though there was a moment that wasn't his proudest moment, he stands by everything he did on the show. So, like, there was no remorse there. The doctor was the only one who was kind of like, I tried to keep things safe. I feel a little bit like, because there's a whole thing about metabolism, and did the show ruin these people's metabolism?
Yes.
Which is funny though. The other contestants,
mm-hmm.
then again in the third episode, were blaming themselves. Well, it was my eating and my damaging my body and my lack of exercise that damaged my metabolism before the show started. Like, it's so interesting how we just automatically go back to self-blame. It's so it's
because we're
so
programmed.
Much shame. Yeah,
we're programmed from the time that you are deemed unfit or fat or whatever.
Yep.
Whether it be your childhood, your adolescence, your adulthood. I think everyone who is fat can remember when they became or were called fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ingrained in everything we do. You think about it. Like, this was another thing I was talking to Michelle about today. Every friggin' single thing you go to do as a fat person, you think about weight restrictions. You
I know.
think, will I fit in that seat? Am I
Mhm.
too heavy for this? Um, is there a weight restriction on this ride? Like, is my body gonna fit? Is the seat belt gonna fit? Like, every friggin' thing that a normal person would never even think or have one inkling of care about, we could maybe even cancel a trip
Based on it.
based on those fears.
Mhm.
Because those fears are real. And those fears can turn into humiliation.
Yep.
So many negative things can come from those fears becoming reality. And a lot of times those are realistic fears.
Yeah. So no wonder, people were desperate to get on a show clearly made for entertainment, right? Clearly made to mock and make a joke of fat people.
Yep.
Because they were the bottom line is losing weight is this like golden
It's
arch,
like the golden reward.
yeah. And it's like, so the way the documentary ended, and this is why I was disappointed in it, it was like the documentary alluded to, yeah, this was a really harmful show, but at the end of the day,
But nobody's responsible for it.
Well, but at the end of the day, you should lose weight regardless. Like that's how it felt like it ended. It felt like people were just like, yeah, that show was, really difficult. But now, and they talked a little bit about Ozempic, and the doctor was like,
oh, really? Way back then? Oh, no, this is current. Yeah.
Yeah. So they talked a little bit about Ozempic and like, you know, some of the previous contestants were using Ozempic and felt it was really helpful. And then the doctor had said, there's been many weight loss drugs. Weight loss drugs is not something that's new.
No, because before I got pregnant, the doctor put me on, first it was water pills, and then there was a weight loss drug that came out, and I can't remember what it was called.
Right.
But the doctor used to give me samples at her office because she was so obsessed with me being,
right.
And I was this weight. Yep. Like, I wasn't, like, anyway.
I know. And so he was like more hesitant because he was just like, this is not something new, but a lot of times what happens is with these new drugs, everybody's using it, and then it comes out years later that like there's a lot really of harmful things. Yep. Right. And so, and the other thing about, like these things with Ozempic or whatever, like, I have binge eating disorder. So food noise for me is a real thing. Like it is a real thing. And so, I could take Ozempic and get the food noise to go away, but then once I stop Ozempic, the food noise is coming back. And also at the end of the day, like truly and unbelievably and truly, it doesn't matter.
Do you think that God made us so that we, like, those are natural urges? I don't know.
I want to eat?
Yeah.
I know. It was a way of survival.
Yeah. So having an urge to eat should not always be a bad thing.
No.
Because even if you're in a bigger body, you still have to nourish that body.
And
that's what people get lost about. They don't realize. I mean, there's so much shame around being a bigger person. People just need to take a step back and realize that, this is not a life that anyone wants to lead.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody would choose this.
Because of all of the systemic barriers, and because like we're living in a world where you just quite literally don't fit in, right? And so, but it shouldn't it shouldn't matter whether like you want to. It doesn't matter what kind of lifestyle you live, whether you're active, you're not active, you're eating, you're not, like, well, it matters if you're not eating, but like if you're eating super healthy or if you're having McDonald's, like none of that matters. It's our own bodies and it's our own choices. And, I just think it gets so muddy when we talk about health, because that's what it kind of came back to. It was like, well, there's still an epidemic. And so even though this show wasn't, great for people. We still have to deal with the epidemic and work on health and
I
wellness.
believe that, yes.
Quote. I'm putting that in quotes.
Yes, there is an epidemic. But the reason for that epidemic is because of, I think, a lot of things. I think it's the antibiotics and hormones that are put in our meat. I believe that it is, a lot of people are on antidepressants because of the state of the world, and everybody knows that antidepressants cause weight gain, and it's really hard to get off antidepressants because there's bad withdrawal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a whole slew of things that are just not good.
No. And to be honest with you, like, I think
Cool plane.
a different sized body is not an epidemic. It's just not. An epidemic could be, the state of the mental health.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
a big pharma is an epidemic.
Yeah, but someone's body being different, whether it's they're plus size or skinny or whatever, that is not an epidemic. People who are small can also be very unhealthy. Case in point, this Bob guy spent his whole life in the gym, whole life eating right and healthy.
Yeah, because
and he had a heart attack.
Like a heart attack, that can be hereditary. He can be passed down from generation to generation. His family could have been prevalent.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that may be why he had that drive to keep working out, because he thought he could evade it that way, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes your genes will affect, it's just like me with lipedema. It's just the card I was dealt, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you with PCOS. I mean,
exactly.
We all have things.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, I was disappointed with it because it just felt like it was like, I thought this could have been a really good opportunity to really talk about how society really discriminates and oppresses fat bodies. But instead it was kind of like, yeah, the show was really crappy. Yeah, the show was harmful. Yes, it kind of mocked fat people and fat bodies. But at the end of the day, it's all about, in quotes, health and wellness. And so people still should be losing weight to fit in. And so it just didn't sit well with me.
I'm going to have to watch it because now you have me curious.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? Do we want to end on a positive note? Something positive.
What pops in my mind is my beautiful daughter, Candy.
Yeah.
She's my positive.
Oh.
She's always inspiring me with something.
I love it.
She's a sweetheart.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I think a positive for me is just that summer is not over yet. There's still a couple more weeks.
A negative from me. Summer's not over yet. There's only a couple weeks left.
I know, it just feels like...
Just kidding.
It went so fast.
It did, and it feels like only the last couple of weeks that I feel like we've just gotten into it, and now it's over.
I know. Yeah, it'll be fall before we know it.
Well, it's already starting to feel, it's like cooler in the mornings and cool in the evenings, so it's...
and the sun's going down, like, earlier, and yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow should be fun, though. We're supposed to get hurricane force winds, and no rain, though. Just hot and hurricane force winds.
Oh, is it supposed to hit us tomorrow?
Tonight, overnight tonight, and tomorrow, I think.
I should charge my phone, then.
Yeah, high winds.
All right, well, with that, we hope you have a wonderful week.
Shine in the sky, Megan and Tammy, here to testify, spreading love, laughter and good vibes too. The Fat Girl Chronicles, we're breaking through. No more hiding, no more feeling small. We're taking up space, standing proud and tall. Our voices strong, our stories to be heard, challenging the stereotypes, flipping the world. The Chronicles of